Alright, we have this 2004 Ford Freestar. No heat. I believe it's going to be a pretty easy one to troubleshoot, since as soon as you turn the blower motor on, it sounds like it's going to come out of the glove box.
This is alternative medicine.
Take the glove box, lower it down, remove the content. Alright, just take a push on each side. There you go. A little push tab and then you can unplug it, even though I didn't use that method. I'm going to get this out of the way. Not quite sure what it's for. These two locking tabs, they can squeeze it and unlatch it. Blower motor, let me unplug that. Oh, it's a push. So you got to push on that to unplug it. We just took and we unplugged this connector, pretty straightforward. Unplugged the blower motor. Now we got these 3 retaining bolts. Alright, so it appears a 5/16 or an 8mm. We'll do the trick. We're just going to take and zip them out.
At least the squirrel cage looks like it's in decent.
Nah, the squirrel cage is broke. That's the problem.
That's an issue.
So it actually needs a new squirrel cage. And I'll take you over on the bench and show you. Alright, so now that we know that the squirrel cage is broke, it's just spinning on the shaft. You gotta remove this metal retainer. I'm just gonna try to work it up out. Try not to crack it. If you go too much, they will. It's like a spring steel. So instead of bending too much, oh, there it goes. It'll actually break before it bends. That makes sense, but it looks like we saved it. Just in case it doesn't come with the new one. Tammy just ran out to get the new squirrel cage, fan, blower, whatever you want to call it. So, alright, so we got the new fan. Looks like all the flighting's in the same direction, you know? And it didn't come with a new clip, so luckily we saved that. So you gotta find the flat. Alright, so now I got to reinstall the clip. Hopefully that retains it. Feels like it will. Feels good. That's really all there is to it. Now we can reinstall it into the vehicle. Alright, to reinstall this should be pretty straightforward. I know this was up. And yeah, let's hope for the best. So I ended up finding that fan at Advanced Auto. AutoZone didn't have it. Feels like everything's going pretty good so far. That's good. It's only plastic. That's good. So we want to get everything plugged in. Okay, let's plug back in. This here, I'm not sure if it'd be in your way or not, to be honest with you. But let's get that plugged back in. Oh, once you get it in, let it snap back in position. You want to turn the key on, Andy?
Yes.
Number 1. Right now you're hearing all the blend doors move. Let them all settle in. Fan sounds pretty good so far. We'll kick it up a little bit. Much better, huh? Alright, no more noises. Alright, so we got everything back together. So you can pop this glove box back up. Pretty straightforward. 97 Mercury Sable with a 3.0. Customer complaint is that it'll drive fine, will start up in the morning, she'll drive it, park it, go into the store, go to work or whatnot, go to restart it and it just won't start, or it'll start up, shut off, and then it'll just crank without kicking over. You want to try cranking it again, Andy? I just had it acting up on me. Hopefully it'll act up for us again. Alright, hold on. It sounds like a fuel problem because it sounds like it wants to kick. Alright, just shut it off for a minute. I'm just gonna check spark just to see what we got. And we'll open that gap up quite a bit. Just trying to get some real-time troubleshooting for you guys because I don't get these in very often, or if I do, they get knocked out so quick. Alright, you want to crank it, Andy? Alright, she's jumping that gap. Let me see if I could throw a fuel pressure gauge on it. Alright, so locate the fuel pressure port, locate the fuel pressure rail. Usually it's on it. If you're lucky, they give you one. This one looks too big for it. I believe this one here is the right one. It has a Schrader on the one side. And of course they put it down in a spot where it's tricky to get into. Just gotta make sure it doesn't leak. If I tell you to turn it off, just turn it off. You got the key on? That's on. Turn it off. Turn it on. Turn it off. Turn it on. Crank it. Shut it off. Okay, so now I'm over at the relay fuse panel in the engine compartment, and I looked it up, and this is the fuel pump relay. This one right towards the front, the gray one. We're gonna pull that out. I'll have Andy turn the key on for a minute. See, I can feel that fire. I can feel the clicking of that relay energizing. However, I gotta make sure we have voltage present and whatnot. But our pressure gauge is still only around a half a pound. And I guarantee if you want to crank it. Alright, hold up. So we still don't have any fuel pressure. If you take and you look at the side of a relay, it usually has a pinout. And I know that up top is your control. So 1 and 2 is your control. So if I come underneath and I locate 4 is on the bottom. What's number 5? Alright, so 3 and 4 is when it's not energized. When it's energized, it'll switch up to 5. So 3 and 5. And according to this, number 3 should be positive. This one up here is number 3. Hook the test light up to ground. Test it on the battery, make sure it's good, and we'll check number 3. Okay, and we do have power present. Now what I could do is switch these relays and see if we have fuel pressure. However, just out of curiosity, I'm going to take and I'm going to put a jumper in between 3 and 5. See if we got fuel pressure. Okay, so what I'll be using is the fuse jumper. And I use this for a number of reasons. Hopefully you can see this pressure gauge. I could use this to get an amp reading of that fuel pump. See, we definitely have some kind of current draw there. I'm not hearing the fuel pump running. And see how many amps we're drawing on that fuel pump. hopefully you can see that there. I'm getting 12.8 amps. Just playing around here again for a minute, and the fuel pump actually started running, and the amps dropped from like 13 down to like 6, and the fuel pressure went up, and then the vehicle was able to start.